Unity Band. Playing Santa Claus is stalking you creepily. Hello and Merry Christmas season to everybody. Is everybody ready? Everybody ready for Christmas? Yes. Yes? Are you ready to sing? Yeah. You ready for some authentic transformation? Yeah. All right, get up and show me. Come on. Put up the tree before my spirit calls again. Fill up the stocking, and maybe blushing things up, as it falls again now. Oh, we need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rapture, and we need a little stepping, happy ever after, we need a little Christmas now. Put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake. It's time to hum some tinsel on that evergreen bough. Oh, we need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rapture, and we need a little stepping, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rapture, and we need a little stepping, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas now. Y'all sounded good. Welcome to Unity of Music City, a place of authentic transformation and a Christmas spirit. Yes. I got a couple of announcements for you, but I'll keep it short, I promise. Today, unfortunately, the writers group will not be meeting and will resume in January. So come back in January and get your inspiration on. Tuesday, December 24th will be the Christmas Eve candle lighting service. The theme is a light in the darkness. So come and light your candles and be a light in the darkness with us. It promises to be wonderful, and that is at 7 p.m. I've been informed that there is not childcare. I asked about that. So bring the kids and have them enjoy with us. On December 29th is the multi-generational Burning Bowl service. I know I talked about this last time, but for anybody who wasn't here, if you haven't been to a Burning Bowl service, especially at the new year, it is definitely something worth doing. You kind of take something that you want to let go of, and you write it down, and you take that energy and put it into the paper, and then you take that and put it in the burning bowl, and you watch it go up in smoke. And you let it go, and then it is no longer with you into the new year. I love doing burning bowls before a new year. It is an awesome, awesome practice. And then you're clear of it going into 2020. So please come on out to that. That's once again 11 a.m. at December 29th. On January 12th, after the service, there will be a meeting of the Leadership Council. So Leadership Council, do not forget about that. Voices of Unity. Oh wait, next we have Lunch Bunch at 11:30 on... Oh, we have no more Lunch Bunch. Ew, okay, well, Lunch Bunch folks, don't show up, because it won't be happening. So today we have special music by Voices of Unity. So Voices of Unity, would you please come and join us on the stage? Wake you up. Unity, y'all. Yeah. Woohoo! And now that you're thoroughly excited, B is going to bring us into a sacred reading.
Joy, joy to the world. Here we are on the last Sunday of Advent, a day of pure joy. There are many opportunities for joy during the holiday season, and still, we must choose to accept that joy into our lives. And so today, December 22nd, 2019, we affirm, I will seek and spread joy. Together, I will seek and spread joy. What a blessing it is to feel deep joy, the kind of joy when your heart could just burst with fullness, when your body shimmers with quiet excitement. The world feels more colorful, more alive, and all good things feel possible. Like any muscle that grows with repeated use, the more I feel joy, the easier it becomes to find things to be joyful about. As the habit becomes more automatic, and it will with practice, joy will become my natural state. If I'm feeling little or no joy, I could consider asking Holy Spirit for help. Today, help me hear, see, and experience moments of joy. Through affirmations, I open up my awareness to the joy around me and within me. The more joy I seek, the more joy I will find. The more joy I spread, the more joy will come back to me. Heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That is the universal law. So, today I will seek joy in all of life, and I will begin to share joy with my family and friends. They will begin to feel joy, and then the joy on our planet will be multiplied. And from Matthew 5:14, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hid. And so we light the candle of joy today.
So you may have noticed that today is a little different. One reason is because some of you probably celebrated summer solstice yesterday. I know Judy and I did. And another reason is because we're combining the Advent and the Sunday of Joy with the summer solstice, which is bringing the light back to the planet. Doesn't it make sense that we're going to have more joy when we bring light back to the planet, when it's not so dark? And so, in today, we are remembering joy. And I don't know what that brings up for you. Because sometimes it's not that easy to remember joy, depending on what you're in the middle of. It's not doing anything, Crystal. Well, I hadn't got it turned on. That might help.
Works better when it's on.
And so I want you to say that with me. Ready? I am the light of the world. Just feel that. What does that mean? Because if we're going to bring the light back to the planet, it has to be more than the sun. It has to be us. So say that again. I am the light of the world. I will seek and spread joy. I will seek and spread joy. So say both lines with me. I am the light of the world. I will seek and spread joy. What does that look like? What does it look like? Well, we've been, for quite some time, about 2.5 to 3 months, focusing on the Yellow Brick Road. And if you remember, at the end of her journey, she went back home. That has something very important for us message, that's where you're going to find joy. Home is here. And so she was looking out here for something, and home is here. So I want you just to think, just allow your mind to think for a minute. And just visualize your life as a road. Just visualize that for a minute. And all the places that you have been, and the people that you have met, and the situations that you've been in. And some of them have been very joyful. Some of them have been difficult. Some of them have been hard. Right, Carolyn?
Yeah, hard.
Hard. And so I want to read you something. I was not going to tell you where it came from, and then Michael saw that it came from a Wiccan book, so I will tell you this is from a Wiccan book, and if that scares you, turn your ears off for a minute. It's called A Wiccan Odyssey to Spiritual Awakening. Each of us has a self which is nothing but our own creation. It is made up of whatever we assimilate in our minds from birth, based on our experiences with family, friends, home environments, history, community, and culture. Once we have our collection of stories, we weave them together and assume that that entity is us. But it's just stories. Stories about what we have experienced, but stories we're telling ourselves about it. Experiences are multidimensional. Can you go there with me? Simultaneous stimuli are difficult for our mind to comprehend. Because in any situation, there's more going on than just in this moment. There's how you got to this moment. There is all the other dimensions to this moment and who your guides and spirits and angels are. So, the ordinary mind strives to make logical, sequential sense out of multidimensional experiences. Which means that we create a story and say this is us, when it may not be. Wow. Because most of the people going down that yellow brick road, trying to go to the Emerald City or wherever you're trying to go, are looking for joy, but this is kind of what we look like. I am going to be joyful, but you ever felt like that?
Yes.
And you've learned unity principles and you're like, I'm supposed to be positive. I'm supposed to know that there's one presence and one power, but it doesn't feel like it right now. I'm supposed to know that I'm divine, but it doesn't feel like it right now. I'm supposed to know that my thoughts create my world, but I'll be damned if I thought somebody else's thoughts created my world today. Right? I know it was Judy's fault. Always Judy's fault. Whatever she was thinking messed up my life, right? Yeah. And I also know that prayer and meditation shits all that, but I forget. Even us people that have been doing it for 500 years, like me and you, Dr. Hugh, we forget. Oh, I could have prayed. I could have been silent and meditated and aligned myself. But no. Remember, I tried to make logical sense of something. You ever tried to make logical sense of it and then it just pissed you off more? Yeah. You can't. So how do you seek joy? We affirmed that this morning. Listen to what's around you. What do you hear? What have you heard this morning around you that caused you to experience some joy? Just holler out.
Music.
Singing music. Yeah. The dogs next door barking. Birds singing.
Smiling faces.
Smiling faces.
Friends.
Hugs.
Yeah.
Smiling faces probably go into watching instead of listening, because if they smiled, they couldn't be making noise, I don't guess. They could, I guess, I don't know.
Duh.
So you're watching or looking also for joy. What happens when something doesn't go your way? Do you seek joy? Or do you tell yourself a story about what's going on? And then that becomes the truth about who you are. You see how this works? Yes. Appreciate beauty. What have you seen in the last 2 days in your world that has been beautiful?
My wife.
Your wife. There you go. You get many points for that one.
Yes.
Many. What else have you seen?
The choir is beautiful.
The choir looks beautiful. Anybody? The coffee house was beautiful. What else have you seen out in the world?
The sky.
The sky. I've seen so many people posting pictures of skies and sunsets and sunrises and water. Redbirds. So you've been told many times to keep a gratitude journal and all different kinds of journals. Have you ever thought that if you struggle with being joyful, and hear me, I've been doing this a long time, and I've had people at this church tell me, I don't know what joy is, I've never felt it. And I'm like, honey, me and you need to hang out, because you need to figure it out and feel some every once in a while. Keep a joy journal. Keep a little bitty pad somewhere close to you, and every time you hear something, see something that brings you joy, put it down. You understand that you're creating a new story in your mind? A different story. So then how do we share or spread joy? Done any of this week? Help somebody else. Lighten the load. Listen with love. Encourage somebody. Grant yourself time to pray and meditate. If I'm in a situation that I'm not feeling joy, it's not about that out there, it's about me, and I need to get there. It doesn't mean I have to be in a place where I jump up and down and go, woohoo! But it means I need to shift myself. What we generally do as human beings is we wait for those people to shift. Have you ever noticed they're not going to? You ever noticed that? They're not going to. But have you also noticed that when you shift, they shift? Have you noticed that? So, we're getting ready to unleash the hounds for a minute. You are going to seek and spread joy in this room for about 5 minutes. I'm going to say it again because I have one person look at me like this. You are going to seek and spread joy in this room for about 5 minutes. Go.
Joy, joy. Joy, joy. Joy, you got a joy? You got a joy? I got joy for you. No. I thought we were this morning.
So I'm asking for you to take the joy that you have received and put it within. I did hear an amazing story about a father that just came home last night from Afghanistan and met his children, and he hadn't seen them for many, many months. That's huge. That's joy. So, know that I asked Beck Duff to sing something that's not necessarily Christmas and not necessarily what you're going to think, but once you hear it, you're going to understand why she's singing this. When are you gonna come down? When are you gonna land? I should have stayed on the farm. I should have listened to my old man. You know you can't hold me forever. big Elton John fan, saw him in concert many times, but there was a few that I was like, that's what he was saying. So interestingly enough, red joy, which is represented by red, life. And it took Dorothy some red slippers to infuse herself with enough life to go, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to be going down this road searching for something and I don't even know what it is I'm looking for. I'm thinking Oz is going to tell me what it is, but I've just found out that that's just a little man behind a screen and he doesn't know any more about it than I do. Have we got that? We think we have it. But again, we try to make logical sense of our lives. Don't we, Kenny? Because I just heard that big exhale. And all I can tell you in the 30 plus years that I've been working with people, there's not a whole lot of logical sense in a lot of stuff that happens, is there, Kathy? It just is there. It's like, wow, isn't this exciting? So then where do we go from here? There's no place like home. No place like home. And where is home? It's right here. So, you're going to watch a video for just a second to remind yourself.
Ready now? Yes. Say goodbye, Toto. Yes, I'm ready now. Then close your eyes and tap your heels together 3 times. And think to yourself, there's no place like home. 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 There's no Wake up, honey. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no.
So, I want you to have a conversation with the person beside you about what just came up for you watching that. Go.
They would match they would match your striptease ensemble, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
Is there an envelope?
Okay then.
So, do you know where home is for you? Because it may not be in exactly the same place as the person beside you. And it's not necessarily about a physical location, even though sometimes that makes a difference. Because the earth has different levels of vibration in different places. I don't know if you're aware of that. Some of you are drawn to the ocean. I am drawn to a river because it's always moving. Some people are drawn to lakes. Some people like to go to the forest. Some people like to go to the mountains. And there's a reason for that, because it feels right to you. It's like my dear sister, Jamie London, who has struggled and struggled and struggled about what to do with her life, and has finally made the decision she's going to move back to Pensacola. That's where she came from. And she's told me, for as long as I've known her, I feel more myself when I'm in Pensacola at the beach. And I go, then why are you not there? We do interesting things in our life, and we try to make sense of stuff, logical sense about why we're where we are and what it is we think we're doing. And do you understand that your thoughts create your world, so you can create it to be anything you want it to be? And you can't do enough thinking to shift your heart space. Can you hear that? I'm going to say that again. You cannot do enough thinking to shift your heart space. Your heart knows what it knows, what it knows, what it knows. Forever. Judy wrote a song one time called "Home is Where the Heart Is, Where Peace and Love Abide." That's true. So quite interestingly, I had an in-depth conversation before the coffee house with Dan. Had nothing to do with the coffee house. Had to do with an idea that he had, and I said, guess what? That's happening on Sunday morning. And I can't make it happen for all of you but today. But I am going to encourage you to continue. I want to read something to you first. That's a picture of Tibet. Within every human, there is a center in the middle of your body. A center. Like a resonator that is reacting and focusing on the symphony of the world. Can you hear that? And it transforms the deepest silence into a beautiful harmonic chord. So can you hear that? If you're in the wrong place, the chord is dissonant. Play us a dissonant chord for that. Have you ever been a singer and sung by somebody who sang the wrong note? Yeah. You've been a singer, Dan says. And sometimes we don't understand why things are not working out for us. It's because we're playing a dissonant note in the middle of something. And there's a part of us that knows that it knows that it knows that it knows, but we're trying to make logical sense of it. And go, no, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep singing this note. You know why nobody wants to sit by me and sing? You know what I mean? The global ringing of bells expresses humanity's yearning, intent, and declaration to fulfill its destiny as peace in the cosmos. Intentionally sharing a planetary moment together, even for one silent moment, can shift the rhythm of the cosmic bell, recalibrating humanity to its role in the unfolding beauty of cosmic divine evolution. I know some of you got exactly what that was, and some of you are like, wah. So we're going to experience it together. What I want you to know is that the silent moment actually began first with the Big Ben clock. Because it strikes. And it began to strike so loud that everybody in the city, when it first was there, stopped what they were doing and were quiet. And then it moved to Tibet. And the Tibetan Buddhist monks decided that they were going to add their own bells to this moment. What I want to say to you is I can't tell you to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever time you need to be synchronizing. But I can tell you I don't think Spirit cares. That I think that if we can begin as human beings on this planet to experience a moment every day. And if you don't have a bell, I would say get yourself one, or a bowl, or a something that makes a sound. You're going to hear 3 distinct bell sounds from this bowl. The first one is going to be the beginning, and I'm going to ask you to do a reset breath. I'm going to talk through a few things with you as you have your eyes closed and are just resonating. Then I'm going to ring the bell again, and when I do that, all noise is going to cease, unless you make some. And we're going to have a silent minute together of nothing but silence. And then at the end of that, I'm going to ring the bell again, and then we will have a few specific pictures. Because you're going to hear from me the great invocation. Some of you know what I'm talking about. If you've never heard that, there's a copy of it in the bowl for you today. But it's talking about the point of light that created this planet that we're on. And that if you're going to be a human on this planet, you need to resonate with that point of light. If you want to create peace. So is everybody ready? You're going to have 3 different bowl sounds. The first one, we're going to start with a reset breath. The second one, you're going to go into a whole minute of silence. And the third one, you're going to open your eyes and look at pictures. So exhale. And just allow yourself to balance your breath. The activation of the I Am presence awoke last evening during the summer solstice. Our own inner light. That same light that was implanted with us awoke too. I am my I Am presence. I am one with the I Am presence of every man, woman, and child on this earth. I evoke in this moment for all of humanity highest and best good. I am now ready to seal the activation of the light encoded in my DNA. So I check in with myself, knowing that I don't have to understand fully about how all this works. It's the Christ light within that does the work. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend upon the earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into all human hearts. May the coming one Christ to be, return to the earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all our human wills. The purpose which the masters know. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where any darkness dwells. Let love and light and power restore the plan on earth. And so it is. Amen. Now I ask voices to come to the stage. Would you please join me in the prayer for abundance? I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life, and life gives back to me. Can you please do the sacred walk of abundance right around in this direction and drop your tithes and offerings in the bowl right here. And the affirmations and copies of the, what was it called? The Great
Invocation.
The Great Invocation. Gosh, it was beautiful. It's right in the middle. Open our hands and our hearts and our minds, knowing that yes, sweet, sweet Spirit, we choose peace. No matter what may be going on in the outer and what kind of stories we want to create about those things. Just breathe and do a reset breath and choose love, joy, and peace. It's really that simple. We're the ones that make it hard. So let's practice for a minute. Reset. And then say after me, I choose love, joy, and peace.
I choose love, joy, and peace.
And so it is. Amen. And I know we wish you love, joy, and peace until we see you at Christmas Eve at 7 o'clock. Can we please join together in the prayer of protection? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I know you know this one. Please join us.